afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to present my seminar proposal entitled Analysis of the Influence Video Learning Media on Students' Learning Interest at the 10th grade of SMA Negeri 1 Gunungsitoli in 2022 and 2023. My name is Islamuddin. I'm the student from English Education Study Program, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, University of Nias. The Honorable, my advisor, Ms. Yasminar Amirta Telambanua SPD MPD, and also my reviewer, lecturer, Sir Adieli Lauli SPD MPD, and also all the audience. So we entering the chapter 1 introduction, the background of the problem. As you see in the slide, in advancing education, an effort is needed in carrying out one of them by utilizing technological advance that have been very developed along with the passage of the time so far. Law number 11 of 2019, Article 1, paragraph 3 until 5 explain technology is a way, method or process of application and utilization of various disciplines of science knowledge that is useful in fulfilling needs, continuity, improving quality of human life. Implementation of science and technology is the process, method, or activity of organizing educational activities, research development, assessment, and application of science and technology. Alright, we move to the next slide. Media learning is very useful for improving the quality of education. Therefore, the more interesting the learning media presents, it will attract student interest in learning, and of course, it can be improve the quality of Indonesian education. The video itself, a media that is often encountered daily that can be used as the learning media that contains educational contents that can help student in learning, so it is called a learning video. Learning videos are also one of the learning media that are often used. Learning video can be found anywhere. One of them, which is the YouTube platform, which is very well-known video provider today. Rihanna in FND in Alala 2021 explained that video learning media is the media that present audio and visual containing learning message, both containing concept, principle, procedure, theories, application to help understanding a learning material. We move to the next slide. The research is based on the problems found by researcher when carrying out internship from SMA Negeri 1 Gunungsitoli in 2022, where researcher teach the 10th grade students. Sometimes the student feel less interest in learning material that can be seen from some students who do not pay attention to what is explained. Not only that, students are also less interested in understanding the contents of the textbook. Therefore, researchers want to analyze video learning media to identify whether video learning media can make students interested in learning. Researchers will conduct the qualitative research that aims to collect, organize, and interpret the data. The research will focus on the analysis by using video learning media to students. We move on to the next slide, the previous research. So, there is the 3 previous research here. For 2021 conclude that learning outcomes of the student can increase through the application of the learner's learning outcomes can improve through the application of the video-based learning media. So, in the next researcher, Ardiansa 2019, as the facilitator, teacher provide the facility in the form of the media to students about process and explain existing phenomena. This is the proven that students' interest in learning increase with use of video media. And the next researcher is Nurdin 2022. The use of learning video media can stimulate students' learning interest in learning because there is a student curiosity about the video, shown that can increase the student understanding of the material provided. So we move to next chapter, chapter 2, literature review. Definition learning media. According to Anderson, learning media is a means of the direct connection between educators and students. Melinda in Hidayah et al. 2022. Learning media here is very functional for improving the quality of students. Therefore, the more interesting learning media presents, it will attract student interest in learning, and of course, this can improve the quality of Indonesian education. In the next slide, media classification. So, media classification divide into 4. First, the print-based media. Number 2 is audio media. Number 3 is visual media. And the 4, the audio-visual media. Next slide is definition video learning media. Justianus reveals that video learning media is declared as the right choice because it can improve skills, creative thinking accompanied by reasoning power, because it can improve skills and creative thinking accompanied by reasoning power in students. Angrini and Marianti 2021. Advantage of video learning media. As you see in the slide, according to Nuria 2021, the advantage of video media are as follows. 1. Messages conveyed to students can be conveyed friendly. Number 2, suitable for explaining a process. Number 3 is can overcome space and time limitation. Number 4 is video media is more real. When it used, it can be repeated and stopped as needed. And the last is can give the deep impression and influence the attitude of the learner. We move to the next slide. Definition learning interest. Interest is the concentration of the attention that contains elements of feelings, pleasure, inclination, involuntary desire, which is active to receive something from outside or environment. When connected with a learning process, interest can be interpreted as the overall driving force to carry out learning activities by Ahru 2019. Indicator of interest. As you see in the slide, the indicator divided of 4 parts. First, feeling of pleasure. Second, student involvement. The third, engagement, and the last is student attention. The source of the data. The data source of the research is the 10th grade of SMA Negeri 1 Gunungsitoli. The researcher will conduct the research in 10th IPS class that consists of the 3 classes, especially at the 10 IPS 2 class. The data of the students at the 10th grade is shown in the table above. The 10 IPS 1 total is 36, IPS 2 is 33, IPS 3 is 28, and the total is 19.7. The instrument of the research. Field notes. Field notes contains notes about activities, how people behave and react, what is said conversation, where the people position themselves with others, their comings and goings, physical gesture, subjective response to what they observe, and all the details and observation important for making a thorough informant observation report. And the next is questionnaires. Have a similar function to the interviews. Questionnaire is that the respondent fill out the questionnaire prepared by the researcher. Next slide, data collection technique. Observation is the one of the data collection techniques in qualitative research. Observation is the basis of all the science. Questionnaire is the tools that use collect the data that contains questions that have been pre-written, questions to be answered by a respondent. Documentation. Documentation in qualitative research can be understood as one of the data collection methods that are by looking at, reviewing, and analyzing documents and things that have relationship with them. Next slide is data analysis techniques. 1. The data condensation. The data condensation refers to a process of selecting, focusing, simplifying, abstracting, and transforming. By condensing, it will make the data more powerful. And the next is the data display. In general, the display is an assembly of organized information that allow the drawing conclusion and taking action. The data display is the main route to strong qualitative knowledge. Drawing and verifying conclusion are the essence of the research finding that describe the final opinions based on the previous description or decision obtained based on inductive.